with my man, Therapy Range. What's going on?
Just came in to
So,
hang out with my homeboy Brandon right here with Shark Tack, the finest holster maker on the East Coast. I've
that,
never been to
that
the
is
West
great.
Coast, so I don't know how your reputation holds up out there, but I'd say it's probably pretty good.
Well, you just said I was the best in the United States because the West Coast, we really don't consider that anymore. And I have a
I mean, they're not
feeling
allowed to
that,
have guns out there for holsters anyway.
well, I have a feeling that when God's done with this planet, he's going to shake that crap right off of there.
Well, I've been patiently waiting. I remember when I was a kid, man, there was this event in the fourth grade where all of the planets came into alignment for the first time in so many years. And there was supposed to cause a massive earthquake, and California was going to fall into the ocean. And everybody was selling beachfront property in Arizona that never existed. Yeah, that happened.
Well, if I had a better internet connection, I could have kept up with that whole last thing you said when you were a kid that California is going to fall off in the ocean. What I'm going to bet on is that when I review this, that I'll be able to hear you.
Oh, yeah.
But then again, I keep seeing myself freeze all the time too.
It's a little glitchy. It ain't too bad. As long as you keep
And
moving, I can see that you're not glitched up.
okay, because I don't want to. Okay, because that really puts me in a pickle. Because if I move too fast,
It causes it to freeze.
right? But and then if I go into Al Roker mode, I'll be like, you know, I go back to that spot. It'd be like my default. Be like, if I mess something up, you'll just see.
So what
We'll
was
be
you
right.
saying? You mentioned something before we started the live stream about the poop.
Um, oh, was it Pope John? No, Pope Francis. Yeah, Pope Francona. Isn't it pulp? Like 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 orange juice?
I kind of just
Like
go to pedophile
you're the Catholic Church, the Pope, right?
or pedophile, whichever.
Oh, hey! We don't
I
want
mean,
to offend
I know it's
anybody.
not
I'm
fair. I
kidding.
know it's not fair to sweep up the entire Catholic religion up because of the acts of a few thousand members.
I think my feeling, and not even my feeling. I think that
Oh, got him.
that is ran with that type of secrecy, control, and hidden belief, where it's this waiting to reveal and crazy devotion. I think that it draws the crowd, and I believe that they have. In my experience, I grew up locally, so I am. Oh, I don't even want to. I'm not going to say how I grew up because it might give away too much. But still, I'm going to tell you, man. It turns out, years later, I find out about all the people that I went to church with as a kid, and a lot of them would be like, "Oh man, you're a diddler. You're a diddler. You're a P Diddy." You know what I mean? There was like Sean Combs everywhere.
Right.
I was like, I did listen to the Dave Chappelle, but it was like everybody knew that guy down the street. He didn't try to touch you. That's pretty inappropriate.
Okay, so hold on a second. Wrap your mind around this. You remember the band Winger, right?
Yeah,
She's only 17.
yeah, but there's what's called the Romeo and Juliet laws. It's a 3-year space gap.
Dude's
So if
like
she's 15
40.
and you're 18, you're good. It's called the Romeo and Juliet law. I'm not even kidding.
Don't make excuses for people that make bad choices.
No, I'm not. No, the law already did. No, I'm not. Oh, believe me, someone coming around my kid, I'd kill him. I don't care if 3-year gap. I don't care. I kill him. But the
Right.
law says
It's
the
17 or not,
law.
they'll fuck you up.
Oh, here's what the law says. Here's what the law says. They call it the Romeo and Juliet clause. and we even have it like in several states. And it's if you're within a 3-year gap, this Romeo and Juliet clause, it's just called that for whatever reason, but that's what legalese is for it. And that's to say that if you're within that 3-year gap, that you wouldn't be charged. Obviously, the reduction and all this. Listen, let's just make it clear. I'm for the.
Yeah. And
I'm for.
not gas chamber or lethal injection. We're talking the chipper.
I don't give. I don't care. I'll donate bullets. I don't care.
The chipper, man. You just put them in the chipper feet first.
I mean, you know what? No, none of that cruel and unusual punishment. I'm not sure if that's part of the Constitution. If that's just in NATO, I don't care. I don't care about Geneva Convention.
That's more of like a housewife pressuring her political husband to lean on that no cruel and unusual punishment BS
I
because
don't know. It might be in the 4th or 14th.
yeah, it might be. But
It
what's
could be.
cruel and unusual punishment about that? I mean, I find that completely acceptable to put a pedophile in the chipper.
Well, I think about this. The chipper, they'd be gone in 30 seconds. You put them on death row, takes 30 years. So there you go. What's more long suffering? I say
Ah,
wood chipper. Let's go wood chipper.
go wood chipper.
Wood
We ain't
chipper
got.
all the way.
There's too many of them, Brandon. There's too many of them. We need to get this process moving along.
Well, then we
So
need like a Komatsu.
30 seconds to grind them up.
We need a Komatsu or a Caterpillar if they come back and start production in the United States. How about that, you big bunch of whack jobs?
So, what
But
do you think about all these tariffs that old Orange Man's putting in place? Do you think it's going to inspire Americans to create American-owned businesses, or are they going to complain and cry and just pay more for their parts?
well, the only ones that are crying are the ones that have already received free benefits for the last 2 to 3, 4 years that are also crying now because they didn't read anything about they thought it was free money and they didn't realize that there is no such thing, that they need to pay this crap back. So they're the same ones crying. They never had a business to begin with, and then in this short time in the last few years that they had a business, it was funded and they went out of business rather quickly, like 80% of over the Rhine. 2020 gets all this funding. Over the Rhine has all these little businesses and shops everywhere. 5 months later, they're all gone. So
Right.
that's how the people who are already looking at this that are crying, they never had a business to begin with. They never knew how to build a business. You do not need other people's money to build a business.
Right,
So
and that's how a lot of this fraud and stuff gets swept by is that it's put through as we're going to fund this project or we're going to fund that project, and ultimately, sometimes those projects may actually get started. Hell, they may even work on them for a while, but they're
yeah,
so mismanaged that the projects never get finished and it gets scrapped, and because it was government funded, nobody's really held accountable for it. So billions and billions of dollars a year is getting sucked out of our economy by individuals for the I mean, you kind of have a different perspective on that, don't you there, Brandon? Some
I
of the
don't think
things that
I don't believe that. There's no way that I have a different perspective on it. I think that my perspective is that we've known for a long time there's a lot of organizations that are being funded, but um, what the things that get swept on, that's the only people that are crying about any kind of things happening right now, means that their pocketbook is getting hit. That's
right,
it. That's the only that I mean that is absolute. Whenever you look at 503s, 504s, any of this stuff where you know they receive federal funding. Obviously, we look at the big deal about USAID, and like everybody crying about what it is now. Yeah, what it is now is not even close to what started it. Voice of America now is not the Voice of America of 19. I'm sorry. Just the absolute leftist, just you just have a lot.
You're lagging so bad. Are you
Yeah, it would appear so.
okay?
As long as the audio came through on that last part, I'm fine.
Some of it.
Oh, that really, man, I went on quite the rant,
You
so I
did. I
would
could
not
tell you were
doubt.
on quite the rant. I didn't want to disturb you, but yeah, it was cutting in and out bad.
Well, that's good. What I'm hoping is on my end that it picked it up
Well,
because
I mean,
it was
what it really tells you is that they want to stifle free ideas and free thoughts so badly that YouTube is willing to go out and choke you down, Brandon. It's not the
uh,
connection, dude. They're choking
yeah.
you down. They found out you were going to have me on here with you, and they were like, uh-uh.
Oh, buddy. Well, they got scared. Like how scared we are of Tim Waltz. And his masculinity.
Or that lack thereof. Wow, what an ass that guy is. You still watch Joe Rogan? I don't really mess with the Rogan show much anymore, man. It's just it's too dry. I need something more. Did it crash finally? Nope, it's giving you just enough bandwidth to keep us going. It's bad. And it's kind of like every time you talk and you just sit there and let me talk, it doesn't seem to be too bad. But when you get on a room and you get bored and saying some good shit, it just is like, nope, none of that. We're done with that. Go away. Stop talking. You're done. It's like this. Oh man, it surprises me that you're having this trouble with connection. I would figure due to your geographic location, signal would not be an issue. But
He's like, I can't get an internet signal ever since you did that. I was like, you know what? I can't either. I don't know what I did. I mean, anytime I put together something, I have extra parts. So, but it works better, you know. So in this case, not so much. So I really do. It's lagging again.
but
It obviously I screwed something up.
some things you shouldn't just shouldn't tinker with.
As of yet, I haven't learned that, but because there's always like this chance, there's a chance I might, you watch the right video and you're like, I got it.
See, I
And
would
that's
say that your wife should be pay closer attention to what you're doing, but I know she's got her hands full.
oh yeah. Oh no. So much goes
You need
unnoticed. It's
you need
perfect.
adult supervision.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that happened for a while, but sooner or later
Oh shit, Brandon. And he's locked up again. There he goes. Okay. Terrible. Well, I'm certainly glad we did this on your channel.
was figuring out how you and I could be on the same screen, man. That was it was unbelievably intimidating. You're like how can I do these things? These are these are these are so complicated and you know.
I've never done it on YouTube. Like I said, I've had live streams on Rumble, but never through not like this. I've live streamed on YouTube, just not the way we're doing it.
I did a test live stream. You saw that. You said because you told me you said you've live streamed on YouTube before. I need to go look and see what that is. Because I do know that I have attempted it a few times, and then I shot one, and I even told Lee, I was like, "Well, I think that I got, I had like 5, 6, 7 minutes, I don't know." But then I ended it just, as playing around with it. But then if it tells me if I still have a live stream on there, so I'll probably end up deleting those. I would think. I mean, unless they're about, if I'll watch them, if I'll see if they're about something. If they're about something, I'll delete them. As long as they're about nothing, I'm good. I mean, how dare I teach somebody anything?
I mean, that's basically all of my content. It means nothing.
I'm froze up to me, but at least I can hear you. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
it keeps freezing. As long as if the audio would hold up, it's not that big a deal.
honestly, then it just turns into a podcast.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh
Only
wow,
I get to see myself move.
be kind of neat. I could bring up some subject matter. I got notes everywhere. Let's see, what do we
Well,
got
no, I
here?
mean, we kind of just did this off the cuff.
Yeah, yeah. It's actually called on the fly.
On the
On.
fly, off the cuff, whatever. Tomato, tomato, potato, potato. One thing I do want to mention, though, while we
Yeah.
got this thing on, is
Oh, 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 oh!
county.
I've got something. Yes, yes. I know what you're going to mention, and I've got the flyer. It's actually. I put it right in front of me. Where was? Oh my word!
Brown County Hunting and Fishing
Oh
Expo.
wait, hey, guess what, Paul? I did not. You can tell I didn't plan this. You can tell I didn't even plan it. Oh my word!
April 5th and 6th at the Mount Orb Sports Complex in Mount Orb, Ohio. Come
Right
check
there,
it out.
baby.
Good
Take a
time.
screen. Take a screenshot right there. This is if everybody misses a real gun show. I want to tell you, if you've been to some of these around here, and you notice a lot of the new items that you would also see in maybe like a flea market. If you find jeans and flowers and maybe, a remote control car at your gun show, leave. So, anyway, that was right there. That's up in my shop. I was like,
Yeah, the state of the gun shows around the area, man, is really it's starting to become sad. When I was down there and seeing you at the Butler, I didn't see anything going on there that would inspire me to load up my trailer and come back.
I would have. I'll keep my comment to myself. We've had better turnouts there, definitely. And I
Right.
haven't done every one there, So, and I've heard they've had good ones. I've done probably less than half of the ones they've had since they started them there the last couple of years.
Well, and
Uh,
then there's other outside effects to this too. I mean, the economy has been completely fucking wishy-washy. During the election cycle, there was no run on Second Amendment items during the election cycle. I mean, and for the last four election cycles, gun shows were double dutching the whole, for 3 years going into the election. Everybody was amped up because we're worried if our guy wins, it could be a fight. If our guy loses, it's going to be a fight. So
yeah.
everybody strapping up and buying ammo and buying guns. And, this election cycle came around with Biden or Kamala and Trump. And that just really didn't happen. There was no big rush on guns and ammo this election cycle, and I found that to be really weird.
Well, I think that everybody got into a holding pattern, and that was because it's fight or flight, and so people are either going to be flying off the wire, or that bird is just going to sit there and hold all the other ones down. And I think everybody just remained in a holding pattern of spending and all that, you know, across the board spending. And maybe it was because of those ghastly egg prices, and I mean that with pun. So
Could be right. Like I said, the economy's been all kinds of wishy-washy whack. I mean, not I mean, I understand. I mean, the cost of eggs and milk and all that shit's gotten more expensive, but all the way up the food chain, things have become exponentially more expensive, which, drives the cost of everything up. But the funny thing about it is, though, is the cats that are at the very bottom of that food chain, the cats that are picking those eggs up out of the bins, they ain't making any more money than what they were before.
not at all. No, absolutely not. Now, I
The
mean,
cat that works at the grocery store, that cat ain't making maybe a dollar or two on the hour more than what they were before. The guy that drives
yeah.
the truck, he might be making a few cents on the mile more, but not much. So where's all the extra money going to? Why is the cost of eggs? Everyone says that it's inflation, Brandon. Oh, inflation, inflation. Your dollar isn't worth anything anymore. Well, your dollar's never been worth anything. From the day they took it off the gold standard, it was worth nothing. Zero,
Yes, that,
zilch,
that
not
that's
nothing.
very, very, very
So
true.
you're catching up with the rest of us, everyone that thinks your dollar is worth nothing, but that doesn't change the value of your dollar. That piece of paper is a dollar. It's worth a fucking dollar. That doesn't change anything. What does change is the cocksuckers at the head of the corporations that say, I wonder if they'll pay $5 a dozen.
That's
Oh,
it.
I wonder
Aha.
if they'll pay seven
You're on to
dollars.
something
Oh,
now. Now, oh,
no, watch this. I wonder if they'll pay $12 a dozen. When will they tell me to fuck off?
so you mentioned something like that, and I will say probably a decade ago. A decade ago, my wife and I had this conversation. Okay, and this is off of one of a great business teacher of mine, and he is for gas, $5 for milk, and inflationary like right now. And I said this is where we'll be. I said that's the top. Is they test the temperance of the population with obviously our 2020 black swan, and now we get a point blame, and the biggest thing is so we're not going to turn into a war or whatever. That's fine. Que sera, sera, right? Um, I mean, if you don't have war, you're not going to have an economy. Let's face it. Um, everybody likes to talk everything else, but there is no astronomical economy without a defense, because right when people start singing lollipops and gumdrops and how we need to make all this free green energy and let's put our money into that, you're going to drop your defense, and then you're going to have China or the big red bear come and stomp your butt out. So that's why we have our defenses, because guess what? If I have bullets, I have food, right? Okay. So that standard alone is how America looks at you know, I'm not green. I don't know if you know that.
I mean, I
I
don't have a problem with electric cars. I just have a problem with mandating electric cars. I have a problem with
oh, I have
mandating clean energy.
a freaking
And electric electric engines have been around since before gas engines have. You know, we've been able to put electric way before gas.
nasty. I used to call diesel devil's fuel. Now I call electric cars devil's fuel.
I don't got a problem with EVs. I think in the future, in the next 25, 30 years, in our lifetime, the highways will be dominated by electric vehicles. I think, but by the time before we leave this earth, they'll be dominated by electric autonomous vehicles. Motherfuckers won't be driving anymore. I mean, let's think about it for a second. When I first heard of this concept, I was like, no way, no way. This is terrible, terrible fucking idea. But let's think about it a second. If you can, if you can perfect the programming to eliminate human error, and what is 99% of auto accidents caused by? Human error. If you could eliminate human error from the equation,
Yeah.
I don't know if it would be a good thing or not, but it's about the implementation of this stuff. The EV motors and the switching over to green, more of a green way of doing things, not a bad idea. It's the implementation of how they're wanting to do it. This should be over the course of 100 years. This should be a 100-year plan that we're going to gradually start implementing electric motors and electric vehicles, electric lawnmowers, electric motorcycles. And we're not going to mandate a fucking thing. But if the population wants to get in on some easy money, yeah, if you can, if you're smart and you can develop this shit, yeah, we'll invest a little bit of money into this. But you've got to be held accountable for what you're doing with the money. You can't go on vacations to fucking Maui and buy a fucking $250 million fucking yacht with a government paycheck and be like, okay, our experiment failed, project's over. Sorry, thank you for the money. No, 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 no. We'll put you in prison for that shit. Quit fuck around and find out. Are you froze? You're froze. Your phone sucks. I bet your phone costs like $300. Oh, you're lagging so bad. Oh, I bet he's so frustrated with this too. Come back to me, Brandon. All right, I'm assuming you're shutting this thing off, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. Or are you still live? I think you're actually still broadcasting there live, buddy. So, yeah, Brandon's having massive technical difficulties. We're going to get this stuff worked out and try to do some more live streams in the near future.